Hello, hello, and welcome to yet another brand new episode of Free Android Development Webinar. As we all know, Android is an open source platform by the help of which we can develop a lot of beautiful apps to run in our Android devices. It is a platform especially designed and maintained in order to develop Android application, and the scope of Android application is unlimited and is supported, of course, by Google. I'd again like to welcome you to the brand new episode of our Android development series, sponsored by SOU. Myself, Madindra, lead developer, and I'm currently working on STMS internal projects as lead developer. The project that I'm working on uses AngularJS in front end, Node.js in middle layer, and MongoDB in backend. We are also building Android application for this project and for this product. Before moving on the actual series, I would like to inform you about what we are focusing throughout our entire episode. That is, we will be focusing on sending email in Android, how to develop an application which can send email to the person that you want to from your Android device. As we all are familiar, whenever we use or whenever we use Android application or Android device, we will be uh, going through Gmail applications. We'll be using Gmail as our default email sender application, I would like to say. But if you want to be a real Android developer, then you should have knowledge on how Android applications uh, really send emails to the one whose email address is specified to. I mean, whenever you are focusing yourself for the development of any kind of application in Android especially, then you would have to be able to know, or you'd have to be able to uh, design those kind of applications code, or those kind of applications view with the help of your Android development kit, uh, especially SDK. In those SDK, what you should be doing is you have to be able to create views for your any application. For example, email in our case for this particular session, we'll be dealing with the views that are needed to be developed in order to send your, or in order to develop an application which will be sending email. So after making or after developing Vue, you'll have to be able to know what are the protocols for sending mail. So you need to understand mail protocols in uh, Android email applications. Once your views are created, and once you start to know or understand your mail protocols, there will be some intent. These are the class intents objects will be created, or you need to create the intents object, which actually will be loading the variables for your email sending application, or for your email to actually run the client on your device. Or email client are those uh, objects which will be loaded on your Android device. It is loaded just because you have your default client on your Android device. Your default client will be Gmail because Android definitely is a product of Google. So Google definitely will give its default application for mail sending purpose. And uh, in the case of Android, every time it will be Gmail to send your emails to your uh, address, to your contacts that you would want to send email to. So, without further delay, I would like to move forward. And but before moving one step ahead, I will again want to uh, share with you all that once we create all this application, I would like to request you all that please go through running those applications, because if you are not able to run the application once created here, then it will not be meaningful. So to make it more meaningful and more fruitful, please do execute every application right onto your Android device instead of using Android virtual device. You can run your applications on uh, your Android virtual device given by the help of Android Studio or any other Android development kit or IDEs that you would prefer to use. But in our case, Android Studio is what we are using and what we were using from the very first session of our Android development webinar. So the more you execute a program on your real device, the more confidence you will gain, because you'll be seeing your output on your real device, and the real errors on your device will be featured on your code, so you can manipulate your code in order to make your application error free. So it'll be a best idea to actually run the output or run the APK file, install those APK files on your real Android device instead of using uh, Android Android virtual device by the help of Android Studio. So moving forward, let's understand mail protocols. If you guys who are watching this uh, have been to Java, then uh, you must have known about different aspects in Java mail protocols. Same is the case over here in Android, but if you don't know, there's no need to worry about. There's no reason to worry when I am here introducing all of you about Android. Let's move ahead and go through our Android Studio. This is where we left in our last webinar session. We were handling our files. We were able to read and we were able to write to files. In this webinar, we are creating email applications. So this was how our previous file handling uh, application or file handling web session, where we were uh, creating files, writing some data to the file and reading those files. So in this webinar, we are handling about emails. So I would like to again go from or initiate from beginning over here by creating a new project in order to show you guys how actually email sending applications are made. So I would like to make this uh, app email app. Click on next. Make it for a phone and tablet for now. Click on next again. I would like to select blank activity from here. Click on next, and finally finish the process. So my new project email app is getting prepared. What I was mentioning over here was we will be understanding the mail product once our new project gets initialized. I will be showing you guys with how different views for mail can be created, how we can actually send our email to the web address or email address that we want to, or how those email addresses are received by our Android device in order to send an email. How the content, how the subjects, how the users that we want to copy the same email to will be shown throughout this webinar session. My application named email app is created inside of this project. So it will be rendering here. It says rendering problems. Let it build completely. And once it's created, we'll be able to drag and drop our components from the palette over here. As we all know and we are familiar, as have been doing this from the second webinar on Android. Here is our main activity.java file. This is our main activity.java file. It is showing error just because our Gradle is still building. The Gradle build is still running, so let every process develop successfully, so our error will be gone. If we again shift to content main.xml, you can see over here everything is going fine. Along with content main.xml, activity main.xml is also included by Android Studio version 2.1. So this is our activity main.xml and this is our content main.xml, both showing the same design display over here. So no need to worry about this. If we move to main activity.java, there are previously coded programs or codes over here. This is done automatically by the help of Android Studio 2.1. What I would like to inform once again to all of you that Android Studio 2.1 is a way fast IDE than its previous versions. So I'd like to recommend all of you to use 2.1 as it is really very easy to use and it is way too faster than any other versions of Android Studio so far in my experience. So there is something here that is named as Hello World, which is definitely the text view. I would not want to use this text view. Instead, I will be using only a button to send the email. How or what I'm trying to do over here is I'll try to place a button, that is the OK button, and once I click on this OK button, the mail sending application will be working, and I'll be giving you guys some of the tasks for you guys to perform or you guys to work at, so that I'll be able to know if you guys are really understanding or going with the flow. I am trying to get your feedbacks, or I would like to get your feedback in the upcoming webinar, so that I'll be knowing your speed. I would like to know your speed as well to continue further. So your feedbacks throughout the webinars, every session will be hugely appreciated. So feel free to send feedbacks the feedback of yours could be on anything. My way of presenting, or your confusion, or if there is anything that you would want me to go again to, and I'll be doing that. So over here, I'll be dragging the OK button, dropping over here. It says new button as text. I'd like to change the text to send. Let it be send only. For now, I'll be playing with the button, and the next thing I'll be doing once this button actually works will be I'll be adding text fields over here to accept the address of the receiver, and to add the subject, and another one to compose the actual mail. So before doing that, let's see if this button will work throughout my mail sending application process. So what I'm looking, or what I'm searching for over here, is the on-click method. Let me add the name of on-click method to be send email. You can write anything that you would want to. I'm writing send email here in my case. Once it's done, let me change the variable name of this, or the ID of this button. Let the name of the ID, the name of this button, or the ID of this button is send over here. You can change to any if you want to. Now, without further delay, let me move to main activity in Java. Here, I'll be modifying the existing, or the original code over here. What I'm doing is I'll be removing this app compat, and I'll be importing Android app.activity.class. This is the class file, and I would not want these things to be over here, so I have removed this. I would also not want this part of code, and similarly I would not want this code here as well. So only thing that is remaining over here is this part of code. So what I'm trying to do right now over here is, now I'll be adding some method over here in this code, or in this main activity.java file, so that I can actually call upon the method when the button is actually clicked. I would not want this part code as well. So without further delay, let's create our button as we used to do in our previous webinars as well. Whenever I create a button, I'll have to pass its type, really button, so find user ID, resources that ID. This is the name of my button, so it's like our ID the same. Once it is done, let me add the on-click listener. The button name is btn. Let's set on-click listener. New on-click listener. Just let Android Studio work for me over here. And once it's done, let me just call and method. Call the method over here. Name as send email. As I have also done the same thing over here in the on-click method of this button, which is definitely send email over here. and I'm also calling the same, but this is an error just because I haven't defined this send email method. In order to do that, I will be adding public void and send email is the description of my method over here, and you can see the error is gone. What I'm trying to do now is I will be creating some intent, that is a class. I'll be explaining the use of this class intent, intent is the intent, and another one I have made two different objects for the class intent. The main aim of this class intent is to know different parameters required for the development of an email application. For example, in an email application, there is need of accepting the composer of mail, the real text of email, the carbon copy CC, also the sender's email address, receiver's email address, the subject of email, composer, the real text of email. These are minimum requirement to send an email to the required destination, and all those required parameters for the email will be loaded by the help of intent, which is a predefined or the inbuilt class of Android, which is situated in here, the content package of Android. Name of the class is intent, and its use is what I just explained right now. That is, the intent is a predefined class of Android, and the content package, which is responsible for adding users' username, that is email address, destination or receiver's email address, content of email, the subject, and different other parameters can be loaded by the help of intent. So let me initialize this intent. There is intent dot action send, which is a variable that is used to activate the client on your device. Whenever you write this line with the help of intent, and this action send is predefined object, I would like to say. And with the help of this object, your Android device would be able to call upon your default client for sending email. Of course, there's no doubt that a default application for sending email on an Android device will be Gmail, and there's no doubt in this. So if my program is able to come up to this line over here, then it will be initializing your Gmail, which is your default client. Now, the next thing that we need to do is set data. It will be done by the help of URI, just parsing. write image string over here. Image 2. This is done. If again want to use intent, dot put extra. These are the methods from the intent object. In this part over here, what you would be doing is you can directly write without string. This is intent dot extra email, comma, to whom you would want to send the email to. This is the part where you would add the destination or receiver's email address. For example, if I would want to send to abc@gmail.com, then this is how I like to add. For example, if I would want to add yet another email address over here, then I can do this by either adding semicolon over here or going in this way. String to make array, finite array definitely. For example, if I want to add with another email address like more than this one, I would add, we say add @gmail.com. Inside of double quotation. So I simply remove this part over here and I add 2 over here, and it will be inputting or taking 2 different email addresses. Once this is done, what you should be knowing or you should be understanding is that intent is a predefined class derived from the package contained inside of Android, and the class intent definitely is responsible for adding different parameters required for sending an email. In our next line, what we'll be doing is we'll be adding subject to our email. Intent with extra. Here, intent the extra subject, comma, the name of the subject or string over here. Let us say this is Android subject. This is a subject section of an email. Once our subject is done, let's move ahead and add the real text to send as an email to the destination. Intent extra text is what we need to use, and this is the text. Here goes the text. You write this is the real text or email. Once this is done, what I should be doing right now is I'll have to actually enable our Gmail inside of our application, because I am making such an application which will have only one button to send an email, but every parameters to send are mentioned over here. For example, if I want to send email to 2 different users, then this is what I have done. One user is abc@gmail.com and the other one is xyz@gmail.com. If I would want to add yet another user, then I can do that simply by adding comma and double quotes. Now let's check out with the couple of users as receiving, and I will be uh, sending this email. What I'm going to say is, if I run this application inside of my Android device, then my Gmail address will be automatically taken by this application. Once this much is done, let's again move ahead and call upon the application to send an email. Set type will be like this. This is a code to actually turn your Gmail application on. So this is RFC822, which is the code to activate your client's default client's email application. I have also made yet another object chooser for the class intent, which is busy here in loading the parameters. Now, what I'll be doing with chooser is that chooser, sorry, the format chooser was intent dot create chooser intent adding intent over here again and giving a single title over here, which is, let's say, email. Chooser is object of class intent, which wasn't initialized, and initialization is done over here. Once this is done, let me add a logical handler, that is try then catch. Before working for try, let's work for catch. This is how I would add catch exception. Let's complete this post message. I guess we have done post messaging in last webinars. If you are unfamiliar on how to use post, just have a look at the previous web sessions using text, or I'm sorry, toast. You can simply copy from the previous project and paste it in here. Message should be changed. My program will jump to catch only if there is error. Let's say email line is on and the length will be short, will be shown. Now let's go to try. There's a method name at start activity, inside of which I'll be using chooser. What this application is trying to do now is As we know that there is a single button over here, which is named as send. If I click on this send button, what will be loaded is there will be receiver's email address available. There will be subject of an email will be available, and the real text will also be available. And this intended set type is also a method which loads or which has an argument, single argument over here, which says message should be RFC822. That is the uh, code for activating a Gmail application from any application that you build. So for that, let's again uh, check out and let's make or build our APK. And the good news is that I'll be showing you guys with uh, the output of our application or of our this send button to send an email over here. This is done by the help of the main activator Java. I'll be sending or I'll be showing email or good news is that I'll be showing you guys with my actual interface. To do that, I have to get this. I hope all of you guys will find out our APK installation directory. It is finished developing. It will be showing the link to show APK Explorer, but you don't have to worry if Android Studio somehow or sometimes don't actually show how or where our APK files are. Then you just need to go to your system C drive. For now, it is loading, and my device or my system is getting a little bit of slowness over there. So I guess it is now completed. Application is there successfully. So in Explorer, let me send both of these files to my Android device. Once my APK will be copied to my Android device, I will be able to show you guys with how actually my screen looks. So let me just start my Android device screen on my Windows screen. For that, you'll have to wait a couple of minutes because my application is getting ready. In the meantime, I would like to again to remind you all is that I am definitely looking for your feedback. Once your feedback starts flowing to me, then I'll be uh, able to change my way of presenting applications or to solve your confusions. So please feel free to like add comments, confusions, anything that you have on your mind. This will be doing that. If you do that, I'll be able to handle your queries or your hard works So this was a file handling class that we made in our last episode, and this is what we did in this our episode. Uh, Now let me turn my Android device on my Windows phone over here. Now my device's screen will be popped up here very slowly. But this process is far better and far faster than Android AVD, that is Android Virtual Device Manager. Now this will be starting. What? This is an application named Advisor. There are various other screen sharing applications which you can use to actually view your Android device. And cast is a screen to your any operating system on your computer. So this is what we have right here. This is my real Android phone, and I just installed the APK file which was over here in my file manager in the SD card section. This is it. This is an application. This is an email application that we just developed. This one. So let me install again. So I have already installed when this screen was getting cast. The app is installed. Email app. That's what we made. Let me open it. There we go. This is the same button. If I click on this button, what happens is, let's just click it. There you see, this is done by the help of this action that's saying over here. This is an object. This is an object of intent class from the package android.content, which is responsible for loading parameter, and this action underscore send opens up the client that can actually send email. Here my email application that is supported by my Android device. This is Gmail, Viber, Skype, and some other email sending application, which are the other applications which will also be able to send an email. So let me use or choose Gmail over here. Actually, I was just trying to show you guys how this button will work. So if I click on this button, even before this, I would like to again show you where my application is situated after installation. This is here, my email app. This one over here is my email app that we just created. Let's open it up. This is the send button. When you click on the send button, you'll be able to see the supported email clients. There we go. I just clicked on the send button, and these are the supported email clients that we have with us. Let me just simply choose Gmail, and sorry, I just over clicked on that. Just single click will work. There you go, my default email address here, and these are the two email addresses that I just mentioned in my code over here, email abc@gmail.com and xyz@gmail.com. That's what is shown over here. There you go. abc@gmail.com, xyz@gmail.com. This is what I just selected from the variable 2, which is an infinite string array. Once it's done, this is a subject area. First, my subject was, this is Android subject. There we go, you can see over there. And again, this one is the real text framework. So these are all everything that is inside of my code. These are all the things that I have written inside of a program. So it is obvious that this will appear in here. And this is the interface of Gmail, which was activated when I clicked on this send button. If I just click on this and select Gmail, there you go. It is working very fine. And this one over here, message RFC822, is written over here just to activate Gmails or mail application of Gmail. Now, in order to send an application or send an email to different users, over here, this one and this one. Now, the send, you can simply click on this button over here. But these emails are not valid. Email might not be sent. It's a sending message over here. If the email address is valid, email will be sent. Now, what I would like to do, or what I would like to ask all of you, is that in the next webinar, I would like to request you all that before attending the next webinar, please try to make complete and proper one. Because in this webinar, I just added a button and played with all this. And in next webinar, you should be getting prepared by yourself after making somehow something similar to this one, which I'm doing right now. Make 3 plain text fields or edit text. This is the second one. And this is a short text field or edit text. The first one should be asking user's email, to whom the email should be sent to. So to know what this each text field means, what this text field is supposed to do, and I'll be moving, or before moving that, let me change this text field's ID. Let this be 2, or simply add receiver. And yes, let me just change the ID of the second one also. Let this be subject 1. Yes. Also this one over here, let this be text. Done. The user will still be in confusion that where to actually add email address to send an email to, where to add subject, where to add text. To let the user know, let's move to text. This is the text field which was created by the edit text button. In the last line, let's go to add some more XML over here to be able to know what is actually happening, or where to actually write the email address to. So this is the placeholder actually. There you go. You can see two over here, which is written Android hint. Let me move to the second one. Again, the last line, Android hint. So this is the subject place. So this should be hidden label subject. And finally, this one is Android hint. It includes your email. There you go. You can see the development right into your right corner of the screen. Now what you need to do is, you know that this one is named as receiver over here. Its ID name is receiver. This one is subject. It's going to be receiver at the same time. This one is 2. This one is subject. Subject 1. And this one is 6. So my demand or my feelings is to make you all happy. Or what I'm trying to say is, before attending the next session, what I'm trying to demand over here is all of you should be able to send email with this button, but not only with this button, also with this text fields over here. The first text field should be giving users email address, who will be receivers. Receiver's email address over here. The subject of the email, compose the email. Moving to main activity is the Java file over here. Here I have done, or I have made 2, which is a string variable, and it loads 2 email address. But from my application over here, what I would like you all to do in the next webinar, or before next webinar, that instead of adding email address directly over here, why not you try to add email address from here, and instead of adding subject directly in here, this is an Android subject, why don't you try and add subject directly from this text field, and instead of adding your actual text for email, why don't you try and add an email from right from here. And after loading all this, click on the button send. Your output says the email is successfully sent, or you should be receiving, or you should be able to see the sent email on the receivers. Again, let's move ahead to our understanding mail protocols place I was where I just left all of you to. So we completed understanding mail protocols. We saw how we can send email. Creating in field is done. Now accept email address, store message on a string variable. The next time you attend your webinar session, if you are able to go easily in this web sessions output creation, then you will be increasing your speed by the next time we go on for the next topic of webinar. My expectation is to see all of you being able to send email with what I have just shown by creating 3 input fields over there. So complete those before the next webinar. If you would want to make your flow to Android even more faster. So we created intent objects, action to send email. We created action underscore send, which actually call your pointed to your Android device's default client. We also created APK file, we installed it, and we checked the output, and it worked for us. But my case was I was using random email address over there. You can try out by placing your own email address in string variable 2, so that you can actually see that if this application development is really going in a good manner or not. Finally, I'd like to thank you all for your kind time. Thanks really for your good time. So throughout this webinar, I have tried to show you all how to send an email using an application, and thank you all for equally participating in this webinar session. And if you have any queries, please feel free to send your questions to our email addresses appearing right on your screen right now, or you can contact us on that number. 469-912-0777 is our number, or directly send email to us so that we can conduct, or we can entertain your questions, your confusions, anything that you have. Please feel free to give your questions. Thank you so much once again.